Okay, so Raican's stats. Let's start with Raican's stats. We got 203 HP, 60 stamina, 97 speed, 113 attack, 113 defense, 88 special attack, and 87 special defense. So what are we going to notice there? It's high attack and high physical attack, high physical defense, low to medium speed. Stamina's okay. You're going to want to make sure to bump that stamina up to 61 with some TVs, because 61 stamina means you get an extra stamina of recovery each turn, so you always want to get to 61 if you're close to that. But, you know, pretty all around, like, you know, you're weak in the special defense. Other than that, pretty middle of the road Tem. The big thing to notice, though, is that when you look at the traits, there's two traits, and we're going to focus on one of those traits, which is Prideful. Let's look at why. So the two traits are Prideful. You get plus attack, plus special attack, and plus speed every time Raican kills an opposing Tem. So that means, I think it's either opposing Tem, or it could be when Raican kills any Tem. I'm actually not sure. Either way, you're going to be always killing your opponent's Tems, pretty much. That's one. So every time Raican kills a Tem, it gets much stronger, much faster, and therefore it starts to turn into a sweeper that can kill 2, 3, 4 Tems in a match and then win you the game. Very, very powerful trait when it works. The other trait is Motivator. Whole team restores extra 10% stamina each turn, including the Tems on your bench. So you swap a Tem out, that Tem also gets 10% additional stamina every turn. But that only happens when Raican is on the field. So Raican has to be out on the battlefield, and then your whole team gets 10 extra stamina per turn. The reason that we're not going to talk about Motivator today is because Motivator is a very awkward fit for Raican's overall move set and stats. I mean, Raican is an offensive, aggressive Tem that it really just exists to beat the shit out of stuff. But in the modern, you know, current state of Temtem, post-Kisua, pre-Saponku, all you're ever going to see is pretty much Prideful Raikans. Okay, let's go over Raican's moves. First move that Raican learns is level 1, it learns Scratch. This is a physical, neutral move, does 20 damage, 20 base damage, that is 4 stamina, 0 hold, 2 priority. You're never going to use this in PvP, ever, ever, ever. All right, next, 4, Sand Splatter. At level 4, you get Sand Splatter. It is a physical Earth-type move, 35 damage, 7 stamina, 0 hold, 2 priority. Again, you're just never going to use this in PvP. 35 base damage is far too low for any real usage here. It just is what it is. Next up, Fire Flame, level 7, special type. 45 base damage, 7 stamina, 0 hold, 2 priority. The Fire Flame move, again, has too low of a base damage to use, as well as it being a special attack. We are going to be using physical attacks only. Next, Roar, the first usable PvP move, although we're not going to use it in our move set that I'm going to describe later. This is a usable move. Level 10, Roar. It is an effect move. Neutral type, 0 damage, 10 stamina, 2 hold, 2 priority, and the effect is that it gives the entire opponent's team minus attack, -1 physical attack. Next, level 15, Fierce Claw, physical neutral attack, 71 base damage, 13 stamina, 2 hold, 2 priority. Although Raican does not get stab on this move, you will see it used sometimes as a cheap move that gets to do damage to Tems that resist fire in the rare cases where Raican might need to do something like that. You will see it now and then. No stab, though. The next move, level 19, Embers. This is an absolute bread and butter move. It was Raican's best attacking move before the Kisua update. It is a physical fire-type move, 63 base damage, 15 stamina, 0 hold, 2 priority. So if you use Embers and you're faster than the other Tem that's attacking, you'll use the burn effect, which not only does some damage, half as much damage as poison, but it also reduces their attack damage by 30% that turn. Next up, level 25, Fire Tornado, special fire type attack, 145 base damage, 22 stamina, 2 hold, 2 priority. Great move, but we're not going to use it on Raican because, again, our physical attack is high, our special attack is low, so even at 145 base damage, we are not seeing any special attack Raikans. I've never heard of it. Fire Tornado, you're not going to use it. Next, level 37, King's Roar, an effect move, 0 damage, 24 stamina, 3 hold, the highest hold on any of Raican's moves, 2 priority, and the effect is like Roar, but better. It takes the whole team, reduces their physical attack, and it also reduces their speed. So minus attack, minus speed for the whole opponent's team, or in some bizarro world, alternate universe, you could also do it to the other Tem other than Raican on your own side, which you're almost never, probably literally never going to do. Level 48, you get Meteor Swarm, a key move here. It's an AoE move, so it hits the opponent's entire team. Physical fire with fire synergy. 80 base damage, 25 stamina, 1 priority. And 1 hold as well. That is AoE, so it hits both Tems. That's how you can get past, for example, a Puppet Master mix that is below 40 health, where you can't target it anymore because of the Puppet Master trait. That's what you're going to do if they put out like double neutral, threatening Akinu, Cernif stall by hitting both at once with ×2 damage, threatening Saku's, threatening all kinds of Tems. Key move every single Raican should be running. You should always run Meteor Swarm. And the synergy makes it gain an extra 10 damage. So instead of 80 base damage, it goes up to 90 base damage, as well as applying 1 burn when it hits the Tems. Lastly, at level 58, Raican learns the move Stampede. It's a physical neutral move with Earth Synergy. Its basic stats are 100 base damage at 28 stamina cost, 2 hold and 1 priority. With Earth Synergy, you get a big boost up to 125 base damage. Without Stab, this move is not usable on Raican. The reason you're not going to use it on Raican ever is because Meteor Swarm is so much better. So next up, we got Technique Courses. Raican can learn 2 of them. First, it can learn Technique Course 016, which is Held Anger, a physical neutral attack with 130 base damage, 12 stamina, 3 hold, and 1 priority. 130 base damage at 12 stamina is insane, but because it's a neutral type and you don't get stab, it's just not as good as Quetzalcoatl, even at low stamina. It also has 3 hold, so using that once every 4 turns, it just doesn't make sense. Technique Course 028, Quetzalcoatl, physical fire type move with neutral synergy, 110 base damage, 27 stamina, 0 hold, 2 priority, and with synergy it gains a little bit of base damage up to 115, as well as getting an extra priority. So with the neutral synergy, it's 115 base damage and 3 priority. Very, 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 very important move. That is Raican's main move. That is the move you're going to build around. Lastly, it has an egg move, Rampage, a physical neutral move with melee synergy, 65 base damage, 26 stamina, 1 hold, 1 priority. Goes up to 85 with the melee synergy. Technically, it's there. You're never going to see it. You're going to want to use a move set something like this. Quetzalcoatl, Embers, Meteor Swarm, and Fierce Claw. That's the basic move set. 4 moves that are really good for Raican. Item-wise, there's 2 items you're going to consider. You're either going to want to use Fire Chip, which increases fire damage by 10%, which has obvious benefits for the Raican, who does lots of fire damage. Or you're going to use Sweatband, which restores your stamina faster and lets Raican do 1 more Quetzalcoatl in a row before it overexerts. You can do 4 in a row instead of 3 in a row. That extra Quetzal is complete game changer. If you get 4 good Quetzals in a row, the game is absolutely over. Because of the synergy giving Quetzalcoatl 3 priority, it's very important to run Raican with strong neutral types. So run at least 1, if not 2, of the following Tems on your team: Momo, Yowler, Mouflank, Valash, Skunch, and Tataru. Run at least 1, if not 2 of those, and try to do an opener of the neutral Tem plus the Raican. Then you can, for example, with Raican and Mouflank, you could use Quetzalcoatl and Base Jump, both on the same Tem. Devastating Tems like Volphy, like Pig Epic, like, you know, lots of Tems. You want to use this build in aggressive teams in general. So when you are running the Quetzal build, here, let me show you it now just so you can see it up close. This is also a good TV spread. You want to make sure your speed is fast enough for the next thing I'm about to tell you. Always run 500 physical attack. But yeah, this is the moveset I described to you. Quetzal, Meteor Swarm, Embers, Fierce Claw, and you want Prideful trait. Some people might run Roar here instead. That is an option. Some people might even be fancy and run King's Roar. You know, I wouldn't really recommend that, though. As a beginner, I would recommend Fierce Claw. It's going to be a little easier to use. You don't want to be tempted to use Roar, and then you click this shit, and then you lose the match. Like, you want to run an aggressive team, try to hit the opponent twice every turn with minimal swap outs. You will have to swap out sometime, but you want to basically ban counters to Raican and slam them. You could run Raican and Fire Koish and put Quetzalcoatl on both of them, running those with the neutral types I mentioned before, the Momo, the Yowler, the Mouflank, the Valash, the Tataru, stuff like that. You're going to be able to do lots of Quetzalcoatl with the synergy, getting 3 priority, attacking fast enough, for example, to outspeed Dust Vortex and stuff like that. Strong Earth attacks, which you have to watch out for, because Raican's biggest weakness is Earth attacks, is water attacks. So you got to watch out for Grumper. You got to watch out for Ukama. You got to watch out for Platamus, for Calibus. And the thing is, not all Tems are equal. Grumper only has Mud Shower. It's not that bad for Raican, but it's still going to do damage. Raican is all about fast, aggressive teams. You can put this in slower teams and potentially use it as a little bit of like a splash of aggro. But for a beginner, I recommend when you're using Raican, run an aggressive team, run that Quetzal, you know, just like go aggressive. And the last piece of the strategy that I just realized I haven't said yet is run it with defensive debuff attacks. So use Tems that can use the move Perfect Jab, ideally, or Humiliating Slap, but Perfect Jab is usually going to be on faster Tems. That's like Scunch, for example, is a neutral Tem that also has Perfect Jab. Same thing as with Tataru. Tataru is slower than Scunch, though, so basically Raican Scunch, Perfect Jab first, Quetzaleno second, so you do minus physical defense, and then strong physical attack with Quetza, 1-2 punch. So the Perfect Jab Quetza combo is very good, but also just like Malflank, Raican, Goring, or Base Jump with Quetza. You basically want to either use Perfect Jab, or Goring, or Base Jump, or maybe like a Volphy with Plague, or maybe like a Nukamo with a Water Cannon, or a Koish with another Quetzal, or just like super aggressive. That's my recommendation to you. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't want to belabor the point. I think you get it. I hope that these sort of like bite-sized, or at least closer to bite-sized educational videos are helping you learn a little something. Shout outs to the YouTube crew. It's been amazing seeing the YouTube grow. Love y'all. And I'm going to get ready for stream right now. It's time to go live. So I'll see y'all on Twitch and on YouTube and everywhere else. Peace out. See ya. That's it.